So, just so that you're aware that you were not getting any commentary because we were not provided with. We're having some issues as it relates to the start list, so we're not able to physically tell you who the athletes are and so on. So I'll try as best as possible to describe the race for you based on school. Yes. So I believe now we have gone to class 3. So that's Wilma's boys finish in ahead in 21.74 seconds to win that event. Jelani Gordon it is, who would have won that event. 21.75 seconds the flash time. So we await more now. So we had a shower of rain, not too heavy. Dampen things a little bit. So another section is up on us. And they're away. Clean start that time. So lane 4 seems to be doing the running from my vantage point. So look at the athlete now, comes in lane 1. Looks to be Casey, is it? Not well, but that's Soren. That's Titchfield from lane 1 and win in 22.43 seconds. So Titchfield, 22.43 seconds to win that event at that time of Stratton of Titchfield out of Beaumas. So you're watching 200 meters action among the boys here. So we're still at class 2 boys, 200 meters on track. Another section is away and running well now from lane number 6, that's Papine. But on the inside, that's San Diego from Calabar, so Papine. And comfortable cruise to the line in 22.41 seconds. Yes, that's a lot of promise to come. So that's Nelson, not Papine, but Clarendon College. That's not Papine, Clarendon College. So after there are several sections of 200 meters to come, and those will be followed by the invitational 60 meters and will feature Brianna Williams and others. And there is the 4x400 meters relay, and those will close the meet here today. So another heat is away. Calabar runs from lane 7 now, but on his inside is Kingston College. Jamaica College there too, but Kingston College leads the big 3. Kingston College from lane 3 runs from Jamaica College and Calabar. So 22.46 is a flash time for Ray. And Calvin gets 23.48, while Angus is 24 seconds and counting. So that's how the class 2 boys 200 meters are unfolding. So section 7 is coming up, we're told, of 14, that's 7. That's we're halfway down the class 2 boys. 200 meters, halfway there. Section 7 of 14 is on their marks. Their way and running well. They come off the bend. That's San Diego. San Diego is flying down in lane number 4. That's Pinnock of San Diego, but look at Wilmer's on the outside. But San Diego is flying and flying well, and will do that in 22.52 seconds. Oh my goodness. That's flying in a development meet like this. San Diego, Pinnock. Coaches are being appealed to collect their relay cards for the 4x400 meters ahead of their events. And so section 8 now of 14 comes up momentarily as we continue to bring you ball by ball. Did I say that? Stride by stride coverage. I'm a cricketer, cricket fan indeed. But it's stride by stride. Their way. First time of asking, Calabar in the lane 7. Gets up quickly, runs well, and just marking his man, but has trouble now to come off the bend. But here comes, is that Jamaica College? That's Kingston College from Jamaica College. Jamaica College on the inside from Kingston College. So Jamaica College from lane 1 wins that in a flash time of 22.95 seconds here at the Queen's Grace Jackson Track Meet, live on Stride Vision Television, or Stride Vision TV if you please. The 19th staging of the Queen's Grace Jackson Track Meet inside the National Stadium. So this now should be section 9. The announcer says section 8, but we've been there before. Let's see what happens. So Charlie Smith is in this one, Romaro Elias. Kingston College is also in this one. So we are looking to see what the boys champs defending champion Kingston College will do in this one. They're running well, underway. So on the inside though, that's lane number 2. Is that San Diego? That's Omar Miller of Excelsior. Smooth, easy, goes down to the line and dips comfortable in 23.22 seconds. Yes, it's early season, and of course, but he took control of the race and did himself well to run smart. That's Mr. Miller, Andre Miller, 23.20 seconds, the official time there for the athlete. So the 60 meters invitational, that event has been called to be marshal, and that comes up right after the 200 meters in total. So here comes another heat on the way now. And there they come, running well from lane 4 is that athlete there, but on the inside that's Wilmer's boys who will get the win just ahead of everyone else in 23.56 seconds. So another set of 200 meters to come. Already, this is Kingston College, and that looks to be Excelsior, is it? From that's Kingston College, easy 22.40. The winning time there. So that's Lawrence, 22.30 from Johnson and Williams. In the inside the Queen's Grace Jackson trap meet. So we await now the start of another 200 meters. And quite a few are yet to come. So their way, Calabar doing most of the running from the center, comes off win lane number 4, but has Kingston College on the inside of him and Jamaica College. So it's Kingston College from Calabar. So Kingston College will take that one ahead of Calabar. 21.80 second the flash time on your big screen downstairs. That's Carr. Yes, winning that one that time. And yes, their rivals, Kingston College, Calabar, and they'll continue to be rivals all through Champs 2020 and beyond. Track and field rivals. So here we go again. Calabar, KC. KC now runs well on the center. And it's outdoing Jamaica College. That's Kingston College from Jamaica College. And easy going down. Just making sure that he's clear of everyone. And runs that in 22.01 seconds. Let's see if that will stand. So that's 22.03. The corrected time. So we should be down to class 3 boys, are we? So their way, that's Jamaica College, Calabar on the inside. Well, here comes Jamaica College. So it's a big three up front. Calabar, Jamaica College, and KC. It's going to be a ding-dong battle to the line between KC, Jamaica College, and Calabar. Jamaica College takes it on the line at 22.36 seconds. That's it. Looking at the time downstairs, Whitley, Manley rather. So another heat is here now. Let's look at this one. Is that Camperdown? Is it? Not sure what the athlete there running out of. That's Bridgeport. Bridgeport in 23.19 seconds. So here comes another heat. So Kingston College running wide on the in lane 6. But here comes Camperdown, is it? So Graham Devani Brown in 23.41 seconds. That's the time he wins it in. And we continue to have a few more 200 meters. Make that 200 meters. And see how we take that. So here we go again, another 200 meters, running well on the outside. But here comes San Diego, and it's in the rain. San Diego takes command now of this one. San Diego from Bulmas. So San Diego, a comfortable walk to the line, I say, in 23.35 seconds. So that's Harris winning that one. So it's, they say, liquid sunshine. It's raining here in Kingston, at the National Stadium as well. But the athletes are still running. There's no lightning around at the moment, but it's raining. So they're away. First time of asking. Calabar from lane 3 comes up now, has some challenge with the athlete on the outside. Here comes Jamaica College on the inside. So Jamaica College, Calabar. So it's a clean spread evenly. So who will it be? Jamaica College from Calabar. Jamaica College will take that one only just at 24.12 seconds on the line ahead of Calabar in that 200 meters. So this team now goes on their marks and their way. So Calabar again is in this one. So too is Jamaica College. Jamaica College now takes command and runs away from Calabar. So it's Jamaica College in wet condition takes this one in just a smart 23.76 seconds ahead of Calabar in this the Queen's Grace Jackson Trap Meet inside the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica. It's the 19th annual staging of this event. Not many meets start and continue beyond 3-5 years, but the Queen's Grace Jackson Trap Meet has been a staple on the J3's calendar. And of course, we have another heat that looks like St. Jago. St. Jago now leads the pack, but here comes Jamaica College on the inside. Jamaica College runs well. Here comes Calabar, but left for dead. But Jamaica College on the inside, lane 1, running well ahead of the field. And will easily take that one. Not much pressure. 24.26 seconds. That time in rainy, wet conditions here at the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica. Want to remind you that you're watching and listening to Stride Vision TV live from the Queen's Grace Jackson Trap Meet here at the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica. So wherever you are in the world, you are getting strides by strides commentary of the 19th staging of the Queen's Grace Jackson Trap Meet in Jamaica. So this now lane 2, is that Clarendon College. It's Jose Marti, but JC is there too. Lane number 2 athlete wins in 23.88 seconds. Oh, what a run. McDonald that time. So Mario McDonald won that event just now, section 4 of 17. And we go now to section 5 of 17. Alex Forbes of Mannings. Let's go to Dwight Fraser.
All right, thank you so much, Ridley. It has been a difficult proposition in getting the draw for lanes, but here we see Kingston College taking this particular heat. I want to take a look at the flash time. And that athlete out of Kingston College's Devon Powell. We're getting almost a whiteout. And looking at this, the board, but it Gibbs it is. Seem to be 23 49. But they have a lot of sections in the boys 200 meters. And then earlier on in the mixed zone, I was looking to see Brianna Williams, the World Under 20 Sprint Double Champion, but I saw her in the McDonald Tunnel. Doctor was there with her and a masseur, getting her prepared for the big one to come later on. Mind you, the event is set to run off at 6:30, which is 5 minutes away, and that's not going to happen.
I get a little nervous when you mention doctor. I hope she's not having the flu.
No, well, that I couldn't confirm for Stride Vision TV in the last check, and that's within the last half an hour. Because between getting to the marshalling area and the tunnel itself, I was trying to find out. But that's the latest information that I have. She was getting a massage for this event. Now,
and that is important, Dwight, because it's cool condition here. It's raining, not as heavy, but it's raining on and off here at the National Stadium inside the Grace Jackson. This is 6, so that's the winning time is that 24:02? Is that Hamilton? Yes, St. Jago, and St. Jago looks real good all round, and we say that Heidel has been knocking, but St. Jago has come full circle, or just about full circle, because they haven't won champs in many years.
St. Jago would have given me the likes of Ewan Blake, who went on to be the 100 meters world champion in Daewoo 2011 as a result of the false start of the great Usain St. Leo Bolt. Then you also have a Melanie Walker, who herself started the Diamond League circuit and also stood on the Olympic podium. The fact that the school is from Street of Spanish Town, we know them as a sprint factory. But Bert Cameron, the most celebrated of them all, would tell you that they're still going through a transition. As we see Kingston College, they're winning. And Kingston College will tell you the name of that athlete in just a while. It seems to be
Parkinson?
Pattison it is. Marvin Pattison out of Kingston College taking that particular event. We say good evening, good morning, or good night to our viewers around the globe watching Stride Vision TV. This is action from the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet. Yours truly, Dwight Fraser, along with Albert. And certainly it has been a grueling day, Albert. I know you were on it before me, from maybe about 8 o'clock. And I got here sometime after 10, thereabout, finishing up other duties. But the fact is that Stride Vision, given all the limitations, certainly our viewers been able to see what's happening at the track meet in the closing stages.
Yes, it's a really a grueling day. It is for sure. So Kingston College now comes up, looks behind, makes check to see is as Gray of Kingston College. He is down to the line and take that in 23.85. The flash time. Not sure if it will round down or up for him, but it's not a bad time. That's Gray of Kingston College ahead that time of Atkins. Yes.
Or of it's Fogo Road. Yes, finishing second that time.
Well, that's good that it's Fogo Road, because I can remember Fogo Road with Robinson back then, coming to champs several years ago under the coachship or leadership of Milton Surgeon. And just barely got into champs at that class and came away with a gold medal that year.
Here's another event on the track, and this seemed to be St. Jago's Kawayne Kelly.
Winning in 23.62 seconds. These times are not bad, and again, coaches are not expected to see much. They just want to know that the form is there and see if their training are on par with the time that they're running at this time.
The fact is that when you run at these development meets, they lay the platform in getting in more work in the legs, in getting in more competition for the athletes, in giving the coaches and or trainers an idea as to where the athletes are in relation to the closeness of champs, pen relays, Carifta games, and so on.
And as Casey runs away and try to pull Sanjago with them, but Casey leave that one. That's Boyd Mowat out of Kingston College, and easy does it in 23.28 seconds. Yes, my eye's not bad at all.
At least not from this distance. And the viewers might not know, but where we are positioned in terms of the commentary box, we are at least some 60 meters, I would estimate, away from the board. And then it's not as if they would put it on night mode. It's already on night mode from in the day. So if your eyes are good from this distance, and so be it. The trouble is that I sometime might be able to see the first number before the dots, and then I might have trouble to see the numbers after that. All of us have different vision. Yeah.
My 2020 is good.
I might be having 1919. So as we look at another athlete there now coming through, 24
seconds flat.
24 seconds flat. I mean, last week you were at the Wint, the Herb McKinley Wint track meet there at Calabar, and you went into the night. It's almost a repeat of what transpired last week.
Yes, certainly, almost. And I go back to the West tonight.
So after we pack up with Stride Vision TV, you're heading to
Montego Bay.
And I should be heading back to Ocho Rios.
Yes, because you have news in the morning.
But the trouble is, I get the weekend off, except that there might be some kind of duty that is calling for me to travel after we leave here. That's a kind of commitment.
Well, you can't get out of that one. That one you certainly can't get away with. So, still watching action inside the Queen's Grace Jackson Trap Meet, National Stadium, Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. Not sure that clock is working properly.
No, not at all. I mean, the clock went off before the race did, but we have our eyes on the starter, and away they go. First time of asking. The draw for lane elude us at the moment. Given the downpour, the runners who take the stats sheet to us haven't done so within the last half an hour. As we look at our screen, it seemed to be Graham of Excelsior running there in lane 2. And hold his head down and just run through in the rain. The conditions, though, 24-23, the flash time, haven't prevented the athletes, though, from giving off their best.
Absolutely not. We see the time consistently finishing the 23-24 belt, and that's good for our youngsters at this time. And it tells us that we can look for some good times, some records at Champs.
Yeah, and Champs comes up March 24 to 28. Starts the Tuesday and goes right until the Saturday. And over 5 days, and of course 5 days of grueling competition over the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 400, the 800, 15, 3,000 for girls, 5,000 for boys. Also the steeplechase for both gender, as well as a long jump.
Indeed, but have you...
High jump.
High jump, yes.
Triple jump.
Triple jump. But I want to switch quickly. Have you noticed that there is more interest into the middle distance, 400 and 800, other than the sprints?
Yes, and I see Kingston College now venturing off to the motherland in Africa in getting 2 representatives there. Rohimaya, if I got the pronunciation right, is the name of one of those 2 athletes that came from Africa over to Kingston College this year. I saw him running. I'm not sure that he will be eligible to run at Champs, though.
Well, Venson is still there.
Kevroy Venson, who himself won the 800 meters last year.
Yes, and
Class 1 we're talking about.
Indeed, and he will always be... Is Rogers going to be running again this year?
Ariamano Rogers out of Uganda. I'm not 100% sure.
But once I have Venson in that race with him, it's over. He has him psychologically twisted and covered.
Well, I know exactly what you're referring to. You go back to champs of 2017. Yeah. When Arimano Rogers went out, because it was a cinch to take that. It was a 1,500 meters?
Yes, he was supposed to take that. And then the 5,000 as well.
Yeah, but no, but he took the 5,000, but it was Farkas and Benson who got the Quinola over the KC athlete Arimano Rogers. As a heavy downpour now here at Kingston's National Stadium as we look at the athletes on track in this 200 meters. And Calabar having two athletes in there. This is class one. The athlete out of lane one seemed to be out of Greater Portmore. And in fact, it was Bridgeport's 25-35, the athlete there. We don't have the benefit of the... Seemed to be Craig. And McNaught. I had a Williams and McNaught. But Brianna Williams still to come. You keep it locked here on Stride Vision TV. This year being an Olympic year, it should be interesting as well. Tokyo 2020.
Are you going there?
Oh, I'm not too sure as yet, but I know that Stride Vision perhaps might be there.
Well, I look forward to whether there or not. I can just relax in my living room, watch via Stride Vision or any other medium.
Well, the fact is that given what we have seen so far of Stride Vision, and many persons encouraged by the delivering so far, that they'll be covering as much sporting event as best as possible. And the Kingston College and the athlete, they're going down on the line. Not too sure, as we said before, 25:05 the flash time, as we don't have the benefit of the draw for lanes, and that is Clark of Kingston College. And it's almost imperceptible for our viewers. And maybe our cameraman is nicknamed Grassy. Could perhaps look at the white balance of the camera and then perhaps give us a better view if he can. And while on the ground here, the entire team works hard. Albert, you yourself, I lift my hat off to you because you've been able to pull the ship for most of the day.
Indeed, and it's a big challenge, but we've got to do it, put it together to make sure our viewers are able to see and hear what's happening at every meet that we go to, especially here at the Queen's Grace Jackson Track Meet.
Named after the great Olympian, Grace Jackson, as we look at an athlete here coming through to beat the athlete of KC running out of lane 7, or make that lane 8. Flash time 24:71. Indeed, Stride Vision have been making strides as it regards working with that vision of bringing sporting events to the bedroom, to the newsroom, to the restaurant of Jamaicans and just the persons who are track and field fans, irrespective of race, right across the globe.
It is indeed, because looking online via Facebook now, there are 270 persons that are watching via Facebook now. Yeah. And that's very important to Stride Vision. Yes.
And of course, we want to say good afternoon to, or make that good evening to our viewers on Facebook as well. I see Eval Nez Pizzi, Anthony Kwame McPherson, Casey and Senior. You're saying that all Casey are going, so Calabar in trouble. Should we go by that?
Well, that's his opinion. So we just.
And he's entitled to his opinion. We're operating in a democratic space, are we?
Yes, we are. And he knows why he said that. And of course, not sure if they're altogether in trouble. They will certainly go back to the drawing board and come again, hoping to win, to retain their title.
Away they go, first time of asking. And this seems to be section 14 or 13 or 14. And here comes Kingston College now. Wow, good striding, good sprinting from the athlete. They're running out of lane 2, holding on his head in the rain and sprinting through. And the flash time 24:51. You like when an athlete sprint right through the line. Most of our athletes have that uncanny little style of slowing down at least 5 meters before the line.
That's never a good thing to do because the race is not over. You've got to get across the line. And I'm sure coaches are disappointed when they see that in their charges. So we would want to encourage athletes, don't do that. Finish the race and then celebrate if you must.
Indeed. Stride Vision TV is where the action is at. This is the last section of the boys 200 meters class 1 event. Away they go in the rain here at Kingston's National Stadium. The Queen's Grace Jackson track meet in the middle of the track. The athlete of Woolmers, also too, an athlete running out of lane 3, powering with the blue armband. Arden on the inside in lane 1, having some work to do, but it might be too little too late. Across the line they come. The flash time 25:33.
So we say good evening to Patricia Fagan. I wish we can please you all together, but thank you for watching and making your comments.
Indeed. I mean, out of the boroughs of New York, the 5 boroughs of New York, I know somebody contacted me today and said that they're watching, they're keeping up with the action back home, and certainly we're happy to bring it to you. Nothing now on track. So no need to worry. We're getting ready for that 60 meters with Brianna Williams. But I'll be able to perhaps give you some draw for lanes with what I have so far.
So as Dwight said earlier, we've just completed the 200 meters all categories and gender, so we're moving now to the 60 meters, and if I'm not mistaken, Dwight, that's the athletes moving across to the 60 meters, as you can see there, the professional athletes.
Yeah, they're moving in that area, and our cameraman doing human service there on the ground would be able to pick them up in the vision. Okay, there we go. So those athletes moving over there, I'm not able to recognize anyone from this distance, but I can tell you that the women's 60-meter dash open, section 1 would see Shanette Allison running out of lane 1. She's of GC Foster College.
Lane 2, that's Shariah Henry, also of GC Foster College.
Out of lane 3 should be Mikhail Moody of UTEC.
And then there's Kadisha Dallas of MVP Track Club.
Shakora Wallace runs out of lane 5 representing UTEC.
And Shauna Helps, a very popular name, Shauna Helps of MVP.
And Jodiana Petrie of MVP also runs out of lane 7.
And running off that section is Mika Harriet.
In fact, pronounced Miche.
Miche Harriet of GC Foster. Thank you.
All right.
Runs out in lane 8.
So the first event in the 60-meter dash should be section 1, as we have just made the announcement here on Stride Vision TV. That the Olympic Games comes up next year, though, is a big thing, because I know the Tokyo organizers are looking to use Usain Bolt as an ambassador. His power was so great, if you remember, they changed the Olympic program at London 2012 in putting the 4x1 last on the program.
It's interesting that they're planning to do that, though, because as an ambassador, they're looking to somebody that is on the track, actually running. So I'm not sure how much attraction that will bring to the Tokyo game, with Usain being an ambassador.
Well, the truth is, Usain Bolt is loved the world over. We would have seen how he lit up Beijing to begin with in 2008, and followed up that in the German capital with the World Championship there in 2009. Bolt has charisma.
Certainly, he does, and I think he. I can't say he's a darling, but he's a paper boy of track and field, and we're wondering. Many people are believing that track and field is going to take a nosedive, that he's off the track and sitting in the stand. And what's your thought though on that?
Well, I tend to disagree, because the fact that Bolt is not on the track, still having his exploits of sponsors around the world, and still an ambassador for track and field wherever he goes. Also, to the organizers welcome Bolt wherever they're having their meets, and to see the Olympic organizers of Tokyo looking to have Bolt as an ambassador, that's a big thing. I still believe that he commands a great presence off the track, but the 100 meters, of which we're referring out of what Bolt is a signature event, the Blue Ribbon event, still though the luster of the event would have lost some of its flavor, but a new generation of sprinters, Akana Simbini out of South Africa. Still, Justin Gatlin may have a little left in the tank. But don't on the right. An awesome sprint out of US, Christian Coleman.
And I'm also looking to see if Tyson Gay will come back to the fore.
Not too sure, haven't seen him in a while. But also to Andre de Grasse out of Canada, who nursed injury for a while, but is back. So we wait to see what the offering will be like in the men's 100 meters. And don't rule out Ewan Blake, who himself have been going through injury worries recently, but has been back in recent times. There or thereabout, we wait to see what he will spring on the Diamond League circuit leading up to the Olympic Games in Tokyo this year.
Indeed. The point I'm about to raise might be a bit controversial, Dwight. I think many of our young Jamaican athletes did not tend to pressure Usain Bolt so much. I tried to beat him, and I think it's because the Jamaicans would have naturally say, what you trying to do? So they just relax and wait him out, and they're now a bit too old and can't do what they think they could have done.
You know, they say everybody have their own explanation. But I hear you. You're watching action here on Stride Vision TV as we get set now for, and we're peeping down on the track, 60 meters. It seemed to be 60-meter men that they might be. They might be starting off with, or the women. But based on what we have on our schedule, we see the women going first, section 1 of a 2 in the 60-meter dash. Open.
Well, the men are helping to make sure that the blocks are set properly for the ladies. Because, you know, it hasn't been raining on and off, not heavy downpouring, but, you know, it's when it's rain, it's drizzle, then you tend to have some problems on the track. So the men are making sure that the blocks are in place, the starting blocks, that they're not slipping.
In fact, for our viewers who might be wondering, section 2 of the women's 60 meters, the event record held by Elaine Thompson, the Olympic champion, 7.02 seconds, and that was set back in 2017. Brianna Williams, the World Under-20 Sprint Double Champion, will be running out of lane 5 in section 2.
Yes. And I'm sure a lot of track fans that are here are expecting to see her, because I believe the first time that we've seen her is back at trials, at home.
Yes, the first time we actually saw Brianna Williams running at home meaning Jamaica, was last year trials for the World Championship, when she finished 3rd behind Elaine Thompson and Chillian Fraser-Price. In the women's 100 meters, that is.
Indeed, and that was a great finish position for her as a junior athlete then at the time. So we welcome you, our viewers. Though I know you're looking to see that race as well, our viewers online, and we thank you for staying with us. It's 60 meters. The Olympians and world champions are in this one for you. And following the 60 meters both sections will be the exciting 4x4.
And the 4x4s are always interesting because the coaches / trainers want to get their athletes who will run the relays at the big events later on, champs, pen relays and so on, to get in as much competition as possible.
Indeed, but I want to switch quickly to the 60 meter. I must give credit to the organizers for including the 60 meters in this event, because there is no other meet I remember well in Jamaica that actually make provision for 60 meters.
There could be other meets, but I can't recall any at the moment. I think the UTEC Classic does, right, but I can't remember any others at the moment. You're watching Stride Vision TV, and we say good evening to you wherever you are across the world and watching the broadcast. It's the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet, and we're standing by for the women's 60 meter dash, and it'll be section 1 to come up just now. And the section 1 should feature in lane 1 Shanette Allison, GC Foster, Shoria Henry, GC Foster, Mikhail Moody, UTEC Jamaica, Kadisha Dallas, MVP Track Club, Shakora Wallace, UTEC, Shauna Helps runs out of lane 6 representing MVP. Also from MVP Track Club, Jodian Petrie And running out of lane 8, Michelle Ariat of GC Foster. So they stand behind the blocks. And a steady downpour here at Kingston's National Stadium. I thought it was a passing rain, but it wasn't. It stood with us.
You know, for a few days earlier this week, Montego Bay had its fair share of rain, so maybe it's your time in Kingston to get.
Yeah. Seems as if you passed the baton on.
Good really practice.
Yeah, indeed. And so the lineup, just gave the lineup, and we'll be giving you it again shortly. What's your call on this one? I like Kedisha Dallas running out of lane 4, MVP Track Club.
I like her too.
Michelle Harriet also of GC Foster.
Michelle Harriet is who I'd like to put my bet on, and let's see what she does. And you're going for Dallas, but I'll stay with Harriet.
9 minutes to 7 Jamaica time. And when we have this 60-meter dash section 1 for women, and we should have this race on at 6:30, but the organizers started late.
What time are you expecting this to be running?
I give it maybe a 7:06. They're on their marks. I'll give them the conditions maybe 7:08. Away they go, first time of action. The athlete out of lane 2, Sharia Henry, GC Foster College, but stepping to the front, Shauna Helps. Oh my gosh, look at her go. Wow.
7.46.
The flash time, 7.46.
Expected time, very good time. Given the conditions, a very good time. 7.47, it runs down.
Yeah, that's Shauna Helps really stepping on the gas there at about the last 15-20 meters thereabout.
Indeed, and 60 meters, it's an event that you just can't afford to make any mistake, because at the gun go, you've got to go. You got to get it, else you're going to lose it.
In the next event, though, Shauna Helps winning there in 7.46, and I know Albert will be making a note of that for further reference. Shauna Helps, as we stand by now for section 2. There's Brianna Williams in her picture, and she'll be running out of lane 5. What say you, the lineup? Donia Ewers of UTEC Jamaica runs out of lane 2.
Well, the athletes here in this event are, I believe, more.
Sibrani Nanda runs out of lane 2, MVP Track Club. Lane 3, Natasha Morrison Sprintec. Lane 5, Brianna Williams unattached. Kashika Cameron runs out of lane 6, representing UTEC. From UEMONA, Jodine Williams in lane 7, and in lane 8, MVP Track Club's Kimon Smith.
Well, I give this win to Natasha Morrison.
Natasha Morris, hands down?
Hands down.
I like the World Under 20 Sprint Double Champion, Brianna Williams.
Well, let's see what she does.
All right, the time 7:46. What are we expecting in this one?
7.76.
7:76. All right, the record held by Elaine Thompson, the Olympic champion, who had some difficulties navigating that women's 100 meters final last year when Shelley Fraser-Price came through to win. And it's interesting because Shelley Fraser-Price was winning her 4th World Championship 100 meters, bearing in mind that that performance came 2 years after having her first child.
Marvelous performance indeed. Any awards that were given away, she deserved to get it. Having gone through motherhood and come back and to destroy the world. Indeed. Marvelous performance.
The action is on Stride Vision TV, making some big strides in the vision that we have to bring all the sporting information to you, all the sporting events to you, the results, and the interviews, the reviews, and the previews as best as we can. And right now you're watching action from the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet at Kingston's National Stadium. They stand by now for the start of this section 2 of the women's 60 meters event.
Time enough to say good afternoon and good night to
in lane 2, Donna Ewers UTEC, Subrananda MVP lane 3, Natasha Morrison lane 4 Sprintec, lane 5 Brianna Williams unattached, in lane 6 Kashika Cameron UTEC, in lane 7 Jodine Williams UWI Mona, and running out of lane 8 Kimon Smith MVP Track Club.
And as tell, I go with Sprintech, Natasha Morrison.
And you're not changing that at all?
And did I say 7.76 or something?
Well, 746, Shauna helps winning the previous event, just in the event that you have missed it. And we say hello to our viewers on Facebook, all 289 of you. We don't take your viewership for granted, and we appreciate your patronage in checking out the strides that we have been making on Stride Vision TV. Earlier, though, I saw Rochelle Clayton, but I'll get back to that discussion after this event. The athletes being introduced now by Ed Barnes. And earlier I saw Bobby Frey there, journalist reporter par excellence, now announcer, as they go on their marks and to get settled in the blocks. Scratch the athlete out of lane 8 was Kimon Smith of MVP Track Club. So scratch the athlete out of lane 7 and 8. 6 competitors there. Set. And away they go. Clean start. The athlete out of lane 2 got up well. Nanda of MVP Chocolate. But here comes Brianna Williams striding through. They won't catch her. Not today. Oh my word. 7.18 seconds. The flash time for the world under 20 sprint double champion Brianna Williams. My goodness. Gracing the track here in Kingston in wet conditions and delivering what smooth sprinting. As the National Stadium stand and applaud the world under 20 sprint double champion. What say you, Mr. Ferguson?
Certainly blown me away. Never expect that performance. I know what she can do, but given the conditions here, her performance is marvelous. 7.18 seconds for Brianna Williams. That's marvelous. It's an indication that there is much more to come from this magnificent young lady in the sport of track and field.
So we haven't seen the best of her yet. You like the stride, you like the finish.
I love it, and very determined. She is probably the youngest in the field and has set them apart and run 7.18 seconds to win section 2 of the invitational 60 meters women. And we stand by for the first section of the 60 meters invitational men 60 meters.
So 304 viewers now on Facebook. We say hello to our viewers, and as we take a look there at the athletes walking back to their starting area to collect, of course, their sweats, track suits, and so on. Interesting to note, though, that the 60 meters will continue. Now we move into the men's event, and we'll give you the draw for lanes quickly. In lane 1, Daniel Irving, Micah University. In lane 2, Owen Adonis, Huey Mona. Lane 3 is Javon Rawlings, GC Foster. Lane 4, O'Dane McPherson, also of GC Foster. In lane 5, UTEX Shaquille Sam, Cadron Golson runs out of lane 6, and he represents GC Foster. Huey Mona's Blaine Buckle out of lane 7, and McKeish Compton, GC Foster, runs out of lane 8.
So they're away, and wow, that's quick. 6.77 seconds.
And it seemed to be O'Dane McPherson of GC Foster College. 6.77 seconds that time. I mean, he was looking across his shoulders, and just to see who would have finished ahead of him. But my estimation, it seems to be Thompson, who would have finished second in this event. But good running that time from McPherson. And the men's not necessarily exciting and blazing the kind of trail as the ladies earlier on to set this place on fire.
Indeed, the race we were really looking for in the 60 meters is to see our darling Brianna Williams. perform for the first time over the 60 meters here in Jamaica. Yes, and I want to give kudos to Grace Jackson, the Queen's Grace Jackson, for having this 60 meters event on the program. You know, it's good because you don't hear much of 60 meters being done in Jamaica. You have to go indoors and overseas to see this particular event being run. So section 2 comes up momentarily and will feature Kareem Small of UTEC in lane 1. Lane 2, Ryan Lester of UWI Mona. Lane 3 has Michael Bentley of MVP. Lane 4 is Chadwick Hines of Sprintec. Lane 5 is Ojamu Graham of MVP. Lane 6, Andre Morrison of MVP. This is MVP race. Brandon Rodney of Sprintec and Leonardo Stewart, also of UTEC. So the big boys in this one, Dwight.
Certainly now, and the start have called them to the others, and they will go down on their marks. This is section 2 of 3, men's 60 meters event. And the organizers here at the National Stadium, certainly. As we go into 7 o'clock now here in Kingston. On their marks, 6 competitors. Lanes 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. And somebody put up a hand. Of course, somebody on Facebook, Andre Taylor Dunville. Oh, we agree with you. I mean, there was no doubting Brianna Williams winning this. But then to say 7.76 is given the conditions in which the athletes are running. A steady downpour, heavy track. Because she won, Brianna Williams won some 2 weeks ago in the United States, a 60-meter event. And then to turn up here tonight, certainly many persons happy that she was part of the program. And we are happy that you're part of our program as well. Stride Division TV. So section 2 coming up now. Kareem Small, UTEC runs out of lane 1. Lester Ryan, UWI Mona, lane 2. In lane 3, Michael Bentley, MVP Track Club. Chadwick Hines of Sprintec runs out of lane 4. Ojamu Graham, MVP Track Club, lane 5. Andre Morrison in lane 6 representing MVP. Sprintec's Brandon Rodney, lane 7. And Leonardo Stewart, UTEC, runs out of lane 8.
So Chaddy Hines also there in lane 4, and they stride down the track and will almost 60 meters and has to walk back for the start.
But we wait to see what will happen here. We see Bruce James behind the blocks. They're having some kind of discussion, not too sure exactly what's happening. But as we said before, a steady downpour. I never expected this downpour though, because it was all bright sunshine over the last 2 days in Kingston. But nonetheless, I see Bruce James now suggesting or saying something, not too sure what's happening. Would we have the race still on? The athletes are still there. The block's still in place. But so is the conditions at international meets. If there is a downpour, you stay right where you are. You won't be going anywhere quite early. You have to compete.
Unless there is a lightning striking, flashing, then you take precaution on that. So, well, it's interesting to know why is Bruce James there. Yes, we know a lot of his athletes from MVP, from which he's the president, are competing in this event.
But I'm not too sure though. Earlier on though, I see one of the stanchion of the lights here at the National Stadium on the grandstand side went off. But given where we are positioned in the broadcast booth, we're not able to tell if it has gone off entirely. Though that now could affect the vision of not only the athletes but also to the quality of the picture. But here on Stride Vision, we're giving off our best. Away they go. First time of asking. The athlete running out of lane 2. Uwimona, Lester Ryan steps on the gas and pulls away from them. 6.75 the flash time for Lester Ryan of Uwimona. And faster than the previous heat. So 6.75. Rounded down now to 6.73.
Even faster.
Well, in fact, it is Bentley. Correction there. MVP Track Club's Michael Bentley. And it might be getting a little difficult for us now, given not only the downpour, but the fact that we have lost light to one side of the track. The last event in this section comes up now.
The 4x4 in this section, though, the last one. And it will feature, over here, that Ramon Barneswell of MVP from in lane 1, Emmanuel Archibald in lane 2 from UWI Mona, Everton Clark in lane 3 from Sprintec, Nesta Carter, MVP in lane 4, Andre Hewers of Running Unattached in lane 5, Andrew Fisher, that name is good, Andrew Fisher in lane 6 from Sprintec, Emir Barnes of MVP is also from Turkey, and O'Shane Bailey of Sprintec. So this is a big field, Andre.
Oh, yes, indeed. Sprintec, O'Shane Bailey, the former national champion, and O'Shane Bailey out of Calabar, now with Sprintec. But the man to watch would obviously be Nesta Carter, the most celebrated of them all, Olympian Nesta Carter.
Indeed, Nesta Carter is the one to watch here. Okay. So the team is being introduced now by Ed Barnes, who is also the meet director here, yes, of the Grace Jackson, Queen's Grace Jackson meet.
So we stand by now to make the call on this one. In lane 1, Ramon Barneswell, MVP Track Club. Lane 2, Emmanuel Archibald Uwimona. In lane 3, Everton Clark, Sprintec. Lane 4, Olympian Nesta Carter, MVP Track Club. Running out of lane 5, Andre Ewers unattached. Sprintec's Andrew Fisher runs out of lane 6. MVP Turkey. Emery Barnes, he runs out of lane 7. And Shane Bailey of Sprintec out of lane 8. They're called to their marks. What's your call?
Nesta Carter, as you say, the most seasoned and experienced campaigner in this field. Andrea Fisher is also a stealer. He'll get on you if you're not ready, so he'll take it if not.
All right, let us see what will happen now. Nesta Carter there in lane 4. Their oxes stand up. Not too sure something was wrong with Nesta Carter's blocks. He didn't move. Okay, and because usually that's the rule. I mean, to avoid the false start, because gone are the days when you usually get that second chance in the blocks. No, it's one false start
And you're out.
One false start and you're out. So we wait to see, or sometime there might be a faulty start with the
on the side of the officials.
right. And in such a case, there is a green to the entire field where the marshal shows a green flag.
Indeed, and immediately the case of Williams, the hurdler, comes up recently when she actually protested by not leaving the field when she was a judge. Full start.
And remember cases of athletes staying on the track. Drummond of USA, here they go. Nesta Carter didn't start well, but look at the athlete there running out of lane 3. Oh, it seemed to be Fisher. I'll make that Everton Clark, it was, of Sprintex. 6.68 the flash time. And Nesta Carter may have to settle, may have finished third. Not too sure.
Thank you, Dwight. You have to run at that time, so we'll be in touch. So that's Bailey wins that ahead of Fisher and Clark. So that was the 60 meters invitational for the Olympians or men. So next on track, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, will be the 4 by 400 meters open for, I see the women, the girls there. The females are on track as they prepare for the start of the 4 by 400 meters. The last two events here inside the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet at the National Stadium. So as we prepare to draw the curtain on the 19th staging of the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet, National Stadium, Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting to the world on Stride Vision Television. So wherever you are, we got you covered. You just got to tune in to us. And we'll provide you with stride by stride commentary, analysis, and even as we get our vision together to go alongside with our start, work in progress is what it is as we work through technical issues. But thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying with us, even in those challenging moments. It's a wonderful thing that you stick to us. So you couldn't make it into Kingston. We were able to bring it to you in your offices, in your homes, in your cars, on your phone, your mobile phones, or your tablets, or your laptops, through Vision, Stride Vision TV. So you're not missing any action. The officials are putting the lane markers and starting blocks out for the start of the 4 by 400 meters relay for women, starting with the women, to be followed by the men. The women in the 4 by 400 meters are warming up. We told you it's raining on and off here at the National Stadium in Kingston. So, and it's cool conditions that these women and men are going to be performing in or competing in or under, if you please. So, in case you're just joining us, Brianna Williams, second race of the season, won her 60-meter race in 7.18 seconds. Shauna Helps won her race, the first section, in 7.46 seconds. And Olympian Nesta Carter was nowhere to be found in the equivalent for the men's, section 3. Never get a good start, never comfortable from the first points. We saw where he put his hand up and the field was asked to stand and to go through it again. Again, we're not privy to the start list of the teams. So we we hope to be in a position to give it to you accurately as we can see it from where we are. We did tell you earlier that the lighting is not all that good from where we are. So we ask your pardon if we don't get it right in terms of the description and identity of the teams as they proceed. So the teams are there in their respective lanes for the start.
Yeah, so back with you again. And this is the 4x400 meters. What, Albert, will be having what? Girl and boys? Girls and boys, just one section each. And bearing in mind that we don't have the benefit of the draw for lanes, just things have been rough for the organizers, we understand, with a heavy downpour. And then we haven't seen the runners with the results either, except that we can say that the performance is certainly here at the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet have been outstanding, to say the least, with the 2 records going on the day, including Rashawn Vassiana of St. Jago winning the boys 110 hurdles event in a new time earlier on. I think it was 13:73. They're into the set position. Away they go. First time of asking. 6 schools in this section of the girls, 4x400 meters. It's an open event. We see Wilmer's in there, as well as Oberlin. Seem to be Manning's. But they run now, some 200 meters gone so far. The action is on Stride Vision TV. So in the heavy downpour, the athletes giving of their best. Here they come now into the straightaway. And Homewood to hand over baton first based on the stagger. And UWI gone second. They'll run in their lanes and then cut over at that 1500 meter mark, just around the discus area. 500 meters gone. Here is where they'll cut over now. And Homewood in front. Not necessarily by a city block, but at least close to 30 meters. Homewood Technical leading them all. And there's a gap opening up now between the leader and that athlete in second place of Uemona and the rest of the pack. Still, the heavy downpour have not prevented these spectators from enjoying the meet, have not prevented our viewers from keeping strides with us here on Stride Vision TV. So Homewood Technical landing over baton now. 1 minute 54 after 2 laps. There seemed to be a singe to win this one, Homewood Technical. And even if it's a situation where you might be saying it's too early to say that, Homewood now opening up a 100 meter advantage. And that athlete is all alone. Good training experience this is, or good competitive exercise, if you will, for Homewood Technical. Winner of Girls' Championships on several occasions. But here is Homewood now in that final exchange. And they're gone. They're really home and dry in wet conditions here at Kingston's National Stadium at the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet. So the athlete on the back straight away there, opening up almost a 200 meter advantage. My word. And the rest of the pack just now about reaching the backstretch when the athlete of Homewood Technical is making that final turn for home. As the announcer called for the crowd to welcome her home. Nice striding, smooth flowing, really concentrating, and good finishing to add to all of that. Homewood Technical, 3 minute 43:13, the flash time. So 3:43.13. The flash time there for Homo Technical. And the rest of the pack just about finishing now. And second seemed to be the athlete of Convent of Mercy. But my word, it's a grueling event, the 400 meters. And many of coaches use these development meets to look at the composition of their relay team, of what it will represent at boys and girls championships, and also to what those teams will represent in terms of compositions as to which athlete will run which leg. And it is true going into boys and girls champs, and also too for the pen relays. And of course, in the former years, way back in 1952 in Helsinki, it was 1948 in London, Herb McKinley, Arthur Wint, George Roden and Herb Ling, but they were to take the 1952 4x400 meters relay at the Helsinki Olympics, and Jamaica's not been to that lofty height at the Olympics, not yet. Have shown good prowess as it regards the World Championship though, winning on the women's side. But the men, and while they have been outstanding, I could remember former years as well when you have a Davian Clark, a Gregory Orton, running on a relay team for Jamaica, 4x4 that is, and always doing well at the international stage, or doing well on the international stage. We stand you by now for the boys 4x4 event, and we're still not too sure if this is the last event on the track. Getting confirmation perhaps from Albert if this is the last event on the track, not sure.
Not sure. Well, we just had one for the girls. I don't think they would want to run the two sections for the boys, although the boys normally tends to put in A and a B team.
Normally?
They normally tends to do that.
Of course, so the boys might turn out in greater numbers.
Not seeing that it looks that we're having two sections. Looks to be just one. Not sure many teams have much to say at this time in terms of their relays. They're just trying to see how they look ahead of Gibson.
Ahead of the Gibson relays, which comes up next month in February. And usually, and as I said it before, for our viewers here on Stride Vision TV, that the coaches, the trainers, the backroom staff use these events as events to prepare their athletes for the big ones, and the 4x4 is always an essential event.
So it certainly doesn't look like there's two sections. There's just four teams on track. Dwight.
So only four teams on track, and those four teams in our estimation, St. Jago, Excelsior, and we'll be able to tell you in just a little while the other two schools being represented here.
But what I'm seeing that there is a Homewood team or thereabout. There seems to be some other team warming up. Like there's actually two sections.
Right, and that's what I was saying. You know, it could have been. So St. Jago leads this one of coming through there to hopefully stay on course and hand over baton first. Excelsior in there as well. They hand over baton second. It may be a Homewood boys team that is, and they have gone third. They'll cut over now at the 1500 meter mark, and here is where things could get interesting. So it's St. Jago versus Excelsior, and the St. Jago Excelsior battle is on. These are early days. I know Mr. Riley, the coach of Excelsior, would have something to say. Of course, putting up his hand for the job years ago after leading Wolmers to boys championship title. And here is St. Jago versus Excelsior. And St. Jago now coming through to hand over baton first. Excelsior will follow through second. It seemed to be Homewood Technical third in this event. But the leader and the chaser, the gap is no more than 5 or so meters between them.
Certainly, not more. And we realized that the race is going to be between San Diego and Excelsior. Well, Homewood is closing the gap there. If you look at it on the backstretch, not sure what we'll make of it. Homewood is known to be a good distance, but more so on the girls' side.
More so on the girls' side, yes. It's a co-ed school.
Yes, it is.
Here is St. Jago now with it as they look at the athlete, running cool, composed and calm. Some degree of pressure being put on by the rest of the pack, the chasing pack. But can St. Jago hold on to win this one? Excelsior goes in chase. Here is Homewood 2, negotiating well, collected the baton in the final exchange. Here we go. Some 300 meters now to run. St. Jago in charge. A distance or a gap, if you will, of almost 12 to 13 meters. Excelsior seeking to cut the gap on the back straight away. The athlete of St. Jago in your picture. The action of the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet on Stride Vision TV. We thank you so much for your patronage in keeping it locked on Stride Vision TV in soaking conditions here at Kingston's National Stadium. The performance from these athletes are something to write home about, in that they've given their all under soggy conditions today, leading up to the night. And what an awesome performance that is. 3-minute 24.50, St. Jago holding off Excelsior to take this particular event. And all of the athletes, of course, using these performances here at boys, using these performances in preparation for Boys and Girls Athletics Championship, and also to using the meet to get their qualifying times, qualifying standards, also to times on the track and standards as it regards the field events.
Indeed. And it's very good that we're having these development meets to give these athletes and schools enough time to qualify, to be part of that grand ISA Boys and Girls Championships. You can't find this anywhere else in the world. Jamaica has gotten the hang of it. We're not sure what else to do, but if we get a bigger stadium, then we will fool it just the same for Boys and Girls Champs.
Indeed.
Well, so it looks to that the second section is a full flight. All lanes will be occupied in this one for the start. We see a number of teams there. I think that they saved the best for the last.
Yeah. You know, one singer sang it years ago. You go and save the best for last.
Yes.
So they perhaps could be looking at the very best now, the last event on the track. Soggy conditions as we head into some 20 minutes or so now before 8 o'clock. Jamaica Land we love. Stride Vision TV. And our entire crew committed to bring you, the viewers, right across the globe, all the action from Kingston's National Stadium and the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet. And that's the kind of commitment that is necessary to ensure that you're satisfied, to ensure that you're following the action, to ensure that you can turn to nowhere else except Stride Vision TV for the very latest in sports. So we haven't gotten the draw for lanes, but we see St. Jago here, as well as Wolmers. We're looking also to at Bridgeport. Seem to be Glengoff. But we're not seeing any Calabar or Kingston College in this last one, Albert.
Certainly, you won't see them in this, given the condition as well too. I don't think they had come prepared for a 4x4 today because they have many things to look forward to. In fact, Casey has their sports next week Saturday, and following that would have been they go to the Camperdown meet as well.
All right, so the race is on. We've gone some 200 meters. And the San Diego seem to be in this one as well. Bulmers, we did mention Glengoff and Oberlin in there as well. Oberlin traveled from Upper St. Andrew. So San Diego begins to tire. So Stets in there as well as San Diego. And Homewood now stepping on the gas, and they are in front. That first changeover made. So they cut over now, and Homewood in front of San Diego. And marginalist Stets now getting in the picture as well. Well, the correction coming through now. It's actually Excelsior in second place. We don't have the draw for lanes, neither do we have the sheet. So we're trying our best, our very best based on the picture. So it's Homewood Technical in front of Excelsior gone second. And that's a penultimate changeover. Homewood, a mighty dash. Excelsior gone second. Followed through by St. Elizabeth Technical.
That's Excelsior. Elizabeth will not come here, Dwight. But not a good run that time by Homewood. We know that their program is coming around, all round, not just the girls, but all round.
So saying that the athlete might be going too fast too early?
No, they're showing what they're capable of doing, and they said, look at us. You remember that slogan, look at us now?
Here he comes into the straightaway. The athlete of Homewood Technical. This is the penultimate leg. He comes over now to hand over baton. A brave run. And Excelsior closing the gap all the time. It's a ding-dong battle now on in this last event at the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet. It's the last event on the track. We'll wait to see what will transpire. Homewood Technical still in front. Excelsior stepping on the gas on the back straight away. It remains to be seen. This one is going to be close. Here is Excelsior pulling in the athlete of Homewood Technical. It could be a fight to the finish. Oh my word. And now there is a heavier downpour, but it doesn't stop the fight. It's not the fight. San Diego holding on. Homewood Technical fighting. San Diego, Excelsior it is. Homewood Technical, Excelsior, St. Diego. And Homewood Technical will hold on to win it. Excelsior will land second. And what a fight. And even me getting tongue-tied and calling St. Diego there, but it was Excelsior and Homewood Technical in that ding-dong battle. What a way to bring the curtains down on the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet in the Year of Our Lord 2020.
A very good way, and as I said 5 seconds.
In fact, it was San Diego.
San Diego, indeed. A very good way to end the Grace Jackson track meet, Dwight. And I said Homewood is showing what they're capable of doing, and we could look to see them upsetting many teams, getting into Gibson and into National Boys Vice Champs.
All right, so for the final time here at the Queen's Grace Jackson track meet, we're going to wrap things up now. And your closing remarks before we pull it down.
It has been a wonderful meet. This is in fact my second time coming to a Grace Jackson meet. First time I came as a coach, manager with a track team, but this time I'm here giving commentary, analysis of what's happening on the track. And despite the rainy weather condition, it has been a good day performance all round. all round.
Somebody on Facebook was asking if it was no KC and no color bar. No Kingston College, no color bar in that last event. And a Homeward Technical holding on to win over St. Jago. And for the final time, a special thanks to Chris on the technical side, as well as Grassy. And he's one of two cameramen. And certainly we want to thank them as well. I know you'll perhaps get the names of the two cameramen, and we'll say special thanks to them. But also we say special thanks to you, our viewers on Stride Vision TV, for staying with us. It's Eddie and Grassy on the respective cameras who did the work today, and Chris behind the wheel as a technical man. And Albert Ferguson, Dwight Fraser for the final time, saying thanks for watching Stride Vision TV. And in the hours of the night now as we head to 8 o'clock, and still a downpour here at the National Stadium. The track meet here certainly went well for the organizers in that they had the sprint double under 20 world champion in Brandon Williams, as well as Nesta Carter out of MVP Track Club, and several other athletes who graced the track here today.
Indeed, 7.18 seconds over 60 meters for Brianna Williams is a good opener in Jamaica for her. She won overseas earlier this year and come before our home crowd and perform the way she did. Marvelous. Good meet all round for the Grace Jackson meet.
Brianna Williams running 7.18 seconds, and Shauna Helms before that 7.46 in the previous heat. Special thanks again to the entire broadcast team, the cameramen, and Chris, who did yeoman service on the backdrop as regards the technical side, and you too, Albert, who really stood with us through the thick of things. We had some technical troubles, nonetheless we negotiated it, and at Minister 8 now. We thank all viewers who stood with us through the test of times, through the testing situations, through the many disasters and the ins and outs and no audio and so on. But nonetheless, we're slowly getting it right. Heavy downpour, and the organizers would have been happy that they were able to perform. Next, we should be at another local track meet, a development meet. Not too sure where it will be, but if you keep it locked on Stride Vision TV, you won't be disappointed. Dwight Fraser for the final time saying thanks for watching.